allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, they're new. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. A quorum is present for the City Council, Successor Agency, and Housing Authority.
We have a presentation for the Hudnall Elementary Science Fair winners. On March 11th through the 15th, Hudnall Elementary School hosted the Science Week. During this week, students participated in the Science Fair, Science Explosion, and other activities and competitions. Councilman Eloy Morales Jr. supported and was one of the sponsors of these events. The Science Explosion Day consisted of hands-on science workshops for kids and competitions for the fastest wind sail car and egg drop sturdiest egg container. Now there's some money in that egg drop sturdiest container. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Morales.
Thank you, Mayor, and I know you'll announce the winners in a minute. I want to first thank Hudnall and the parents and Ms. Dr. Goolsby for being here. They run just a really great program over there in the Science Fair. Gracias a todos los papás que están aquí, que son de habla hispana. Gracias por apoyar su escuela. Gracias por apoyar a sus hijos. So I'm going to go ahead and read the commendation we have for this particular celebration, and then the mayor will continue. We will announce the winners and the mayor, and then we'll go down there and take a picture, okay? So it reads, the City of Inglewood Special Commendation presented to Claude Hudnall Elementary School in recognition of your 2019 Science Fair. It is our distinct pleasure to recognize Claude Hudnall Elementary School for establishing a science fair that promotes science education and grew to include participation from the entire Inglewood Unified School District. This type of educational program encourages students to collaborate, communicate, and use critical problem solving and critical thinking skills. These skills have planted a seed that will result in developing a new generation of teachers, scientists, and doctors. We emphatically commend Claude Hudnall Elementary School Principal, Dr. Danielle Goolsby, and her team of administrators, teachers, and parents for investing in an idea that serves to enrich the educational journey of students. Investing in the youth of today promises us all a brighter future tomorrow, because this type of investment yields an infinite and priceless return. Now, therefore, be it known that the mayor and council members of the City of Inglewood, California, do hereby thank and salute Dr. Danielle Goolsby for accepting the task of shaping the leaders of tomorrow, presented this 23rd day of April, 2019. So congratulations for that. And that's kind of the description of how they do it. And then, so the mayor will announce the winners there by grade level, first, second, and third. And if my colleagues can join me down there so we can hand over the trophies to the winners, and then we'll line up and take a picture. Dr. Goolsby, if you could meet us over there. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, in the new era of the California Common Core Standards and the next generation science standards, it is important that we provide students with opportunities to implement these practices. The California Common Core Standards and the Next Generation Science Standards encourage students to collaborate, communicate, use critical problem solving, and critical thinking. The Science Fair project is an opportunity for your child to implement these practices. The project must utilize the scientific method and test the students' theory on the areas of their interests. We are proud to present the winners of the Hudnall Science Fair competition. Drum roll. There we go. Third place in grade 1, Nathan Nolasco. Second place in grade 1, Leah Combest. Is this adorable or what? First place in the first grade, Leah Gallo. Third place in the second grade, Estrella Thompson. Second place in the second grade, Camila Naranjo Cacique. This is like a test, you guys. First place in the second grade, Amanda Okere. Third place in the third grade, Bihan Mahia. Second place in the third grade, okay, Zemena Emena Sandoval. The X is silent, you guys. Just adorable. First place in the third grade, Angel Negrete. Fourth grade, third place, Caitlin Hernandez. Second place in the fourth grade, Jennifer Hall. Jennifer, thank you for that easy to pronounce name. First place in the fourth grade, Bricia Hernandez. Bricia Hernandez. Bricia Hernandez. Third place in the fifth grade, Truth Ayanwu Good. Second place in the fifth grade, Ayub Jonas. And finally, first place in the fifth grade, Ari Cook.
That was fun. Go ahead, Doctor. Wants to say a couple words, Jim.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dr. Goldsby.
Folks, Dr. Goolsby from Hudnall has a few words to say, so if we could just hold it down for a second.
Just a few words. Thank you so much for all of your support. Councilman Morales has been outstanding, and his team in terms of supporting our school. Hudnall Elementary School is in the heart of District 3. And we just want to encourage all the citizens in Inglewood to please support our school districts, please support our schools, please support our students. Our students are in your community, and they're going to be the future of the community. So anytime you see our kids, please encourage them. Please come by to the campuses. If there's any businesses that you have that you would like to come and share with our school sites, or anything you'd like to donate, please do. We need you. We need your support. You see the fruit of our labors. Our babies are phenomenal, so please come and support them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Dr. Goolsby, could everybody stay for just 1 minute? We're going to show a brief video. I don't know that everybody can make the state of the city, but we have a brief video that basically captures the history of the city from the 90s to actually 2028, and it'll take about 4 minutes. And I just think it's important for the kids to see the future of their city. Boom. There was a time when Inglewood rightfully was called the City of Champions. In the 80s, we were home of the three-peat world champion Showtime Lakers, the LA Kings, and concerts at the Forum. The Hollywood Park racetrack drew an average of 43,000 people 6 days a week. Then in 1999, the music began to die. The Lakers and Kings left for downtown Los Angeles to the Staples Center. In 2008, the Great Recession hit and the housing market collapsed. Off-track betting caused the racetrack attendance to dwindle, eventually to crowds of about 1,000. We negotiated an agreement in 2011 with Madison Square Garden to loan MSG $18 million in redevelopment funds for rehabilitation purposes. MSG eventually would add $82 million to that loan, and in January of 2014, the Forum reopened and would become the #1 concert venue in California. Then, in January of 2015, the Inglewood City Council announced to the world that we would pursue the Rams of St. Louis to relocate to our city. In January of 2016, 1 year later, the NFL would announce that the Rams would move to Inglewood for the 2020 season.
The NFL owners tonight approved the return of the Los Angeles Rams to the market.
It's our goal to build the most unique and fan-friendly stadium in the world. We want to make citizens of the area, certainly the NFL, and the residents of Inglewood proud of what we're doing here.
The one thing that was true, the mayor of Inglewood, James T. Butts, and the Inglewood site was best, and tonight, the commissioner of the National Football League made it official.
Everybody says you're just being used and it's not going to happen. I said, Fred, trust me, it's going to happen. I said, I'm 80% sure it's going to happen. 1 year later, the Chargers of San Diego exercised their option to join the Rams in Inglewood. After leaving Los Angeles in 1961 as a member of the American Football League, the Chargers returned 56 years later to the LA market. But Inglewood was just getting started. In June of 2017, we entered into an exclusive negotiations agreement with Murphy's Bowl, a limited liability corporation, to negotiate the construction of an 18,000-seat, state-of-the-art NBA arena. In 2018, the city negotiated the sale of the old Security Bank building to the LA Philharmonic to be redesigned by Frank Gehry into an orchestra hall at a cost of $15 million to house the youth orchestra program of the LA Phil. Last week, that construction began. In March of 2019, the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles moved their headquarters from Marina Del Rey to Inglewood into a newly renovated facility. In 2020, the NFL Network will leave Culver City for the Inglewood Entertainment District, and Inglewood is being considered to host WrestleMania in 2021. In 2022, Super Bowl 56 will make Inglewood the center of attention of the free world as we host America's biggest football game. In 2023, the NC2A Championship Bowl game will be held here. In 2024, the Clippers are scheduled to call Inglewood their new home. Negotiations are underway for a FIFA World Cup in 2026, and in 2028, the Summer Olympic Games will open here in the city of Inglewood. Like the legendary phoenix rising from the ashes, Inglewood rises once again, soaring to heights never before imagined. Welcome to Inglewood, where the only thing that has changed is everything. And I want everybody to know, while that was my voice for this and wrote the script, Thomas Bunn, our video guy, put that together. I was driving home from the State of the City, and Fred Rogan called me, and he said, "Who did that?" And I told him it was a city employee. He said that was network quality. So, and an Inglewood resident. in District 4, under the tutelage of Councilman Franklin. Any persons wishing to address the Inglewood City Council's successor agency, Housing Authority, on any item on today's agendas may do so at this time. Okay, hearing no comment, we'll move on. We'll move on to the agenda. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1. Madam Clerk.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. Consent calendar items 2 through 6.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. Joint consent calendar items 7 and CSA 2.
Staff report recommending approval of the purchase and sale agreement between the City of Inglewood and Armando Navarro and Patricia Navarro, husband and wife as joint tenants, to secure 756 square feet of right-of-way from the larger parcel located at 10003 South Inglewood Avenue, needed to implement the Century Boulevard Mobility Improvement Project, Sub-Area 3.
Move City Council item 1.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye.
And now I move successor agency item 1 for the same item.
Second.
Okay, before the vote, Madam Clerk, I want to explain this. You know, I've seen in some silly online publications, when we do this, what we do is, for the mobility project, we have to condemn an area of sidewalk to widen the sidewalk for ADA accessibility. You have to do that with every street project over a certain dollar amount. And so we had to do the same thing for, I think, close to 19 parcels on Century Boulevard. We'd condemn a sliver of sidewalk to make it wide enough for wheelchairs. And so we've had some silly online publications state that because now we're listed as a joint owner, that if they raise rent or they evict someone, that the city is evicting them. Well, that's not true. So I just want everybody to understand that this means that we will own a sliver of sidewalk to make the sidewalk wider. So if you see us listed on a building, it's an apartment building, a hotel, we don't own it. We just own the right-of-way for the sidewalk. Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mayor. Successor agency members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Chairman Butts.
Aye. 01.
Staff report recommending the introduction of an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Article 8, which is a wireless telecommunications facilities within the public right-of-way of the Inglewood Municipal Code. Mayor, communications have been received and passed out to everyone
You
on
said,
this item.
excuse me again?
Communications has been received on this item,
Okay.
passed out to everyone.
Okay.
Do we make the motion to wait for the reading at this point?
Unless you have a comment.
Right, no, motion to wait for the reading.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Let me finish reading this real quick. They want us to continue it.
Yep. Oh,
That's why I mentioned it before we.
Aye. Who will introduce?
I'll introduce.
Move item 3,
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. A1,
Thank you, Mayor. No other reports from the city attorney.
CM1,
Thank you, Mayor. No reports from the city manager's office.
CC1,
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
CT1.
Thank you, Mayor. Just like to mention that I was not able to attend the city address. I was attending the California Municipal Treasure Association meeting that was held in San Diego. And had not it taken me 3 hours to get there, I would have come back to hear that, but the drive prohibited that. So I just want to also mention that I did buy a federal home loan bond at 2.75, and it will settle in 3 weeks. And that was an excellent buy when you look at our interest rates. And just want to also congratulate also our Hudnall Elementary Science Fair winners. Not only do we have the smartest students in all of the USA, we have the most progressive city in all of the USA, led by our brilliant mayor and near genius 4 council members.
How close are we?
Oh, yeah, Mayor. We need to go to
And I'd
Hudnall.
just like to mention also,
Are some of us closer than others?
but we won't go there. And I just want to mention also regarding the upcoming City Treasurer's Community Workshop, I have full support from the entire council.
All right.
$100 from Councilman Dodson, and baskets worth at least $150 from Councilman Padilla.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
$100 from the mayor.
I'm a father of 3. Every
$100 from Councilman Eloy Morales. And Councilman also, Franklin also $100. I mean, that is just outstanding. I'm just so very appreciative
Franklin in the house.
of that. And some of them said they might even be able to stop by. It's from 10 o'clock until 2. That would be wonderful. And if you're able to stop by, I will stop everything to introduce you. But I'm very, very appreciative of that. And also even our public director also made a contribution also. So I'm very, very appreciative of the support that I'm getting. And also some of the local vendors is in support. Pan Restaurant gave me a $25 certificate to have $25 worth of food there. And I'm expecting support from Meaty Burgers and Targets. And also regarding the advertising, of course, I'm covering all the advertising, a full page and Pace newspaper, Inglewood Today half page, and also the Observer a half page there. So I certainly want to thank them for that. And just a comment regarding Thomas Bond, who will be filming the event. This guy is really super talented. He is just really a gift to the city, and I certainly want to thank him for the coverage that he's given to my Inglewood City intern program over the year, academy program yet. Also, let's see, did I miss anything? Also, I heard that we just had a standing ovation attendance for the first-time homebuyers. We actually had to, cancel it? Is gonna
No. We had to add an extra day tonight at 6 p.m. in Community Room A.
tonight at 6 p.m.?
Yes.
So that is just an excellent. How many other cities do you know have such a program like home giveaway? I mean,
That would be none.
it's unheard of. I mean, we got it going on here. Do we not have it going on here? We have it going on here. So I'm just really blessed to have been elected to serve all of these years, because this is certainly just the life of city to work for, and I'm very, very appreciative to be here. So again, be sure to come. It's free, and we're going to have excellent speakers. Topics like eliminating debt, 3 C's of investing, buying your first home, buying investment property, what you need to know about IRAs, ways to boost your earning power, best time to save for retirement, critical steps to take before retirement, something we need to talk about, which is final expenses. Everything you need to know about wills and trusts, Medicare 2019, how your credit scores works and how to improve it, pros and cons of reverse mortgages, mortgage types, pros and cons of each, down payment assistance, grants and other assistance that is available to buy a home for first-time buyers. First-time home buyers, qualification criteria, credit importance, employment, documentation that's needed, kinds of insurance, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and homeowners insurance. And again, it's going to be held this coming Saturday in the Community Room A, and it will be from 10 until 2. And we have just wonderful raffles that we will be raffling out. So please show up. And we also have refreshments. And I want to thank all of my vendors who's also providing most of the food. And I'm providing mostly everything else. Again, thank you, Mayor and the council, for your support. Very appreciative. That
Thank
concludes
you.
my comments.
Public comments. Any person who wishes to address City Council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council. I'm Reverend Frederick Shaw, Vice President and Acting Executive Director of the NAACP. Our President is Eric Holly, and we want to know, we'll let the community know, along with the celebration of the young people, that the NAACP is actually launching its AXO program again, and that is the Academic, Cultural, Technological Science Olympics. And so we are launching that again. Anyone that have a talented student, we don't care if it's music, science, anybody in robotics, anybody from the area or in the whole South Bay area, we're willing to use this. We're winning at everything else. We might as well win that competition too. And so send support to the NAACP, send our smart children, and let's win that too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Butts and council members, for allowing me to speak this afternoon. My name is Matt Palma. I'm a supervising engineer employed by the County Sanitation Districts located in Whittier, California. I have more than 22 years of service with this agency. I'm speaking on behalf of almost 1,000 fellow AFSCME employees across 6 bargaining units, ranging from clerical and technical support to professional accountants, scientists, and engineers. If you recall, I was here in January to talk to you about ongoing labor negotiations at the sanitation districts. At that time, we were at impasse after 22 months of negotiations. I'm now happy to report that management and the union have reached a tentative agreement in our negotiations after more than 2 years of bargaining. The agreement provides full 7% employee contribution to their PERS and modest COLAs over 5 years. The agreement resolves all the outstanding labor issues and ensures that our services will remain outstanding, our revenues will continue to exceed our expenses, our reserve funds will remain high, and our rates will continue to be the lowest in the nation. So why am I here? Mr. Mayor, we need your support when the contract comes before the directors for a vote. A meeting of the collective committee, that's all 80 of the directors, you're one of them, throughout the sanitation districts is tentatively scheduled for May 22nd at our Joint Administration Office in Whittier, California at 1:30 p.m. We're asking for you to please attend this meeting and vote in support of the tentatively agreed upon MOU for these great, hardworking sanitation district middle-class employees. I'd be happy to provide you with a copy of the collective committee meeting agenda when it's available too, and I thank you for your time.
You put a lot of pressure on me, but I prefer you provide me with transportation and meetings in Torrance. I'm kidding with you, big guy.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen you in Torrance, but we'd love to see you in Torrance as well. That's the 3rd Wednesday of every month.
All right.
Thank you.
My name is Julia Wallace. I'm a writer for Left Voice News and also organizer with Uplift Inglewood Coalition. I'm here to speak about the mayor's proposal for a rent control ordinance. I heard a little bit about it. I'd like to see when that's going to be available online, if it isn't already available online, so people can read through it more specifically.
Staff report's online right now. The final iteration is still being developed, so that won't be online until the council meeting where we determine whether we're going to adopt it.
Okay. So from what I know about that, a big concern is the 8% yearly increase. Although that would stop the increases from happening every 60 days, 8% is not enough for a lot of people, especially people that are on fixed incomes. And from what I saw, there isn't any kind of address for that. I think that places like Los Angeles that have 3% yearly income, even though those things go up incrementally, it allows people to be able to maintain their homes. 8% one year means 16% another year, 24%, et cetera, for people. And a lot of folks that are on fixed incomes and regular incomes can't afford those things. And I think that there should be a community meeting, and I remember Maxine Waters talked about having something like that so that the entire community can give their input without having to take time off during the day.
Jill, you're at time.
I thought this is the last guy. I just wanted to finish my point real quick. I just hoping with the other council that people really take this seriously. People, I know you're saying everything changes on the video, but the residents shouldn't change, and the residents should be able to stay here.
Okay, Julie. So real quick before you go, though.
Yes.
The proposed proposals put forth actually at 4% for all intents and purposes ends up being a cap because tenants are given relocation if they choose for any increase above 4%. It also, the 8% cap allows for long-term property owners and housing providers that have kept their rents below 80% or lower to start to get towards fair market value. And the reality is this, there comes a price where something's a fair market value beyond which people will not pay. So the landlords have to make a considered judgment that if they go over 4%, they risk of vacating the property and then having to amortize the relocation amount over the tenant that might come. So, we think that it is actually balanced and fair. So while 8% is the most anybody can raise a rent in 1 year for a tenant, it does have provision. So we didn't ask you to talk again. I just wanted you to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Other people will be addressing that too.
I'm sure they will.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Kruti Parekh, and I am a parent and Inglewood resident. I am both celebrating today and grieving today. My son turns 11 today and 9, right? An Inglewood Unified 5th grader, doing really well in school. And I'm also mourning the loss of Chuco's Justice Center on West and Redondo. I was a part of the transit-oriented development, and during those meetings, I warned that if we did not look out for the most vulnerable in our city, we would lose them. Chuco's Justice Center has helped tens of thousands of people, inspired and assisted folks. And just days after Nipsey Hussle's death, Skip Townsend from Second Call had the largest truce of neighborhoods on April 3rd and 4th in that building. Chuco's Justice Center should be considered a historic landmark. If you want more information, I'm happy to talk to anybody afterwards, and also really want to encourage the city to invest in youth centers, peace builders, and youth jobs, because Inglewood lost one of the best community centers it ever had. And if you don't make provisions for what that means, less and less young people will be helped, and they'll get caught in the system.
Okay, we're at time. Now, you do know that Juco's Justice Center was paid something like $4.8 million for that building, and they're relocating to another location, and that area is going to be used for affordable housing. 100 units, 50 transitional homeless, and 50 affordable. So it's not...
They were told that it was going to be turned into a parking lot, so please double check your facts on that.
Excuse me, it will be a parking lot for the building. So it's part of a facility that's designed to house 100 families. So I don't lament that.
Could I speak to you about that to get more information?
Yeah, you could call.
No, I'm not connected. Chuco's does not know anything about that.
Chuco's does know because they got $4.8 million. So then if somebody knows,
these are all incorrect. I'm on the board of the Youth Justice Coalition, and this is all incorrect information that you're sharing right now.
Then I'm concerned for you because Metro paid the $4.8 million.
This is all incorrect information.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Who should I follow up with?
You don't have to follow up. You follow up with Chuco Justice Center.
Well,
From the city of Inglewood, who should I speak to?
She's talking about where can she see future projects once they've been approved.
Future projects once they've been approved?
And online or something so that she can...
Who in the city of Inglewood can I speak to about the 1137 East Redondo Boulevard property?
The city of Inglewood is not building it. The county is building it. So you can go down to the county board of supervisors.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mayor, members of the City Council, I'm Morris Griffin, better known as Big Money Griff, strong community activist, leader, and problem solver. And I rise today not only for the voiceless, but also for myself. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of us all? It ain't my fault that that lady last week lied to our council, lied to our city when we talk about public authority, when we talk about housing. Section 8. For the record, let the record reflect the voucher. The voucher payment standard is the most the housing authority can pay for a unit. If the rent for your unit is higher, you must pay the difference in the rent. Last week, a lady said that's illegal to Councilman Franklin. And Councilman Franklin stopped speaking. So I got the documentation of substantiation and verification of that information right in my hands.
Fantastic.
Now
Great
what?
time. Thank you very much.
I rest my case.
Ooh.
How you guys doing? I'm Elgin, and I'm a city of Inglewood resident, and I'm here to speak on the behalf of the rent increase. And I've been living in Inglewood for 10 years, and the building I live in was $11.95 when I moved in, me and my wife, and plan on retiring with decent rent. And the original owner was getting old, so he said he was going to sell the property. So he told us that he's going to have to increase the rent $400 to make it a better sale for him. So from $11.95 to $400, okay, we was like, that's decent. It's a 2-bedroom, nice place. And 12 months later, the new owner came in and raised the rent $400 more. Now, the building has never changed. There's nothing been done to the building. So after 12 months, you know, push my retirement back. I'm not a bum. I'm an ex-gang member. I worked 32 years with Ralph's, and I still work for Ralph's. So you property owners, I understand what your place, but somebody just played by the rules, straightened his life up. Now he's being pushed out of the place that he lived for 10 years. So after 12 months, they sell the building again. So the next guy comes in, we didn't know the building was this bad, we gotta raise the rent again, $300. I know you guys heard the story all over again. He hasn't did anything to the building. One person moved out because that's the plan. Keep raising the rent until you get people out. So the one unit that was empty, he gutted it out, made a 2-bedroom into a 3-bedroom.
Okay, sir.
That's what I'm dealing with. So
I get the idea, but
okay.
We're
So
at time.
one more. Second.
No one more. You're at 2 minutes. Not today,
okay,
sir.
I thought it was 3 minutes.
No, it's not. It's really not. It's 1 minute.
All right. Well, you guys got what I'm saying, right?
We sure get what you're saying.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Griffin. Let's not do that. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Sonia Gray. This is my first time here. I live in Inglewood. And then it would also be the same thing. I work in the homeless population. I'm a housing locator for a nonprofit, so I help find housing for homeless people, and they're also working. So it's only 3 minutes. So my rent was increased 42.3%, and then of course it's nothing done about upgrades or anything. But my question is the 8% cap. So is it any way that you guys can consider that 8% can make someone homeless, because 5% can make someone homeless? But if you guys can just reconsider, because I know you have everything in the working, trying to work with, because my landlord is excellent. He did raise my rent forever, and then he did. But when he did, it was $475 increase because there was nothing in place. So if you can just kind of reconsider the cap at 8% could make a person homeless that's been somewhere for 10 to 12 years, just like if you can consider what is reasonable for the renters to be able to live here,
Right.
and then
All right,
the landlords.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, City Council, Mayor, staff, Ray Davis, 2nd District. I'm going to try to put a positive spin on things. It's a great weekend. For Earth Day, this one I don't think I can be any prouder of what the city is doing. I'm proven wrong. Special thank you, whoever made the call on having the closing act to be confunction. Thank you very much. I was born and raised in Vallejo, California, as many of you know, and keyboard player was 3 houses up on Sheridan Street on the right. My brother was dating the drummer's younger sister. That's how close that band is to me. The lead singer, his daddy taught me how to fish. It's really fun to see them come all this way and all these years still going. And that's how I'll leave it, folks, on a positive note. Forward Inglewood.
Thank you.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood, California, and proud of it. I would like to say the state of the city was something that we've never had in this country before. Earth Day, off the hook. This city, council, and staff should really, really be proud of what you're doing here in this city. And I want you to know that the people in the city of Inglewood support you. As a homeowner myself, if I decided to rent my house out for $10,000 a week, I want to be able to do it. There's got to be some kind of incentive for people to buy property. Want to keep moving around, just don't buy no property. Just keep renting. But the people who own the property have a right to rent, but they won't. If they can't rent it out, then they'll bring the price down.
Thank you, Mr. Agee.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Eric Holly, Executive Vice President for Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank everybody that came out and supported the State of the City address. I definitely want to thank the team that put it together, Melanie, Halima, Tiffany, and Carrie. Great event, extremely nice turnout, some amazing support. People were ecstatic and really enjoyed the way that the things went for the event. Also want to congratulate the city on Earth Day. Amazing turnout there as well. It was unbelievable to see the people all the way back to Manchester having a good time on the South Lawn. So kudos to the city on that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll close public comment. We'll go to council. Well, first we'll go, the city clerk, the city treasurer had one more comment she didn't get out in her 4.5 minutes.
As I was thanking people, I just forgot to thank my superb city clerk, who has always been so supportive of the program. And she also contributed $100, but she has always been very supportive. And again, I just want to re-thank the New York Genius Council also for their contributions. Very, very, very appreciative. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, and also heard Earth Day. I was able to stop by for a minute because I was on my way to San Diego for the conference, and I heard it was just a sensational program and very well attended, as it usually is. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Dotson, District 1.
Thank you, Mayor. I had the privilege of attending the topping ceremony last Monday for our new football stadium. It's now 2/3 finished, and if you have not seen it, look like every day I go by, something else is done to it. I'm telling you, this, as far as I'm concerned, will be a landmark. It is going to be really something special. So if you get a chance, ride down 90th up here and take a look at it. You get your best view from 90th. Okay, the state of the city. Boy, oh boy. I've attended a lot of them here. I mean, many years. Serving on the planning commission and now serving the city council. You cannot believe what was done here this past Thursday. And if you did not attend, you make sure that you put it on your calendar for next year. Things are really happening here that I never dreamed would happen. And, you know, these guys that sit on this dais, believe me, you can be proud of every one of them. They really put this thing on, and the mayor, oh man. You know, he's knocked it out of the park a lot of times, but this past Saturday is really one of those. Earth Day, oh man. Earth Day, Earth Day, Earth Day. You gotta put that on your calendar for next year. I mean, there were so many people, like Mr. Eric said, they were all the way back to Manchester. I think we will have to look for another place because we run out of room on that. But before I forget, I want to thank Angela Williams and Joy Aldridge for putting this great event on. They did one heck of a job. And those, yes. So now I've given you 2 things you must attend and thirdly look at. So now if you don't blame us because I gave you the word. With that, have a great rest of your week and see you next week.
Councilman Padilla from District 2.
Great, thank you, Mayor, appreciate it. First off, I want to thank, Eloy, your presentation today with Hudnall Elementary School, Dr. Goolsby,
thank you.
Her and the students, it just shows you that our school district is doing very well, and we're going to do even better. And the future is bright when you look at these young kids, and we just got to keep them focused and keep them here in our school district. I had an opportunity. Let me just backtrack for a minute. About a little over a week ago, I did a pet clinic over at the District 2 Community Center, and I got to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. We had well over 100 pets that came out to get vaccinated, get chipped. The turnout was tremendous, and our efforts were in trying to get ahead of the 4th of July when these dogs and cats start scrambling because of the fireworks, so that when they do that, we can find them and get them back to their homes. So I want to thank the community members that came out because they care about their pets, and we're going to be able to get them back home. State of the city, wow. I mean, hit it out of the park. The mayor did an outstanding job up there with everybody that was present. It was one of the best ones yet. And, we have so much excitement going on in the city, but I also want to thank the community. I think they said over 700 folks were in attendance. Think about that, 700. That's a lot of community support for the things that are happening here in the city of Inglewood. And we had folks from throughout the region at the state of the city. Just shows you that Inglewood is on the map for all the right reasons now. And so we're going to continue to move forward. This morning, I had an opportunity to be at Inglewood High School along with the Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, the other Alex Padilla. I had to wear my badge so folks would know who's who, right? But it was great because we were there to get our students to register to vote. Because as you know, now at 16, 17 years old, you can register. So when you turn 18, you are now ready to vote. And then the other trick is getting them to vote. So we talked about that. I want to thank Dr. Melendez for, her support in making this today's event this morning. As you can see, a huge success with all the students that registered to vote. So thank you to the Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, for coming out and being a part of what we're doing here in Inglewood. Now I want to go real quick to the Earth Day. And again, Angela, you and Joy did an outstanding job. Angela's sitting right here. I don't see Joy. I mean, the performers were outstanding. The community support, again, not just Inglewood, but from the region that were here to celebrate Earth Day with us was tremendous. So, I can't imagine all the hard work that you guys had to do behind the scene, but I want to thank you and your staff for making it happen and bringing a beautiful Earth Day to the city of Inglewood. And then, let's see here. This coming Sunday, Inglewood Park Cemetery is going to be doing a grand opening of an area there. It's called the Estate area. They're going to have a ceremony with jazz music and all that. So it's going to be here at the Inglewood Park Cemetery. So if you have an opportunity, come by. It's Sunday at 1 o'clock. Again, a lot of good things happening. For those that came up here and spoke, thank you for doing that. We always appreciate hearing from our residents. And I want to thank all of you for coming out today. Have a great rest of your week.
Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Yes, I don't want to be too redundant, but I clearly want to thank those that participated in Earth Day staff. Clearly, Angela Williams and Joy Aldridge were the spearheads, but there was a lot of staff that was outside the Public Works Department that contributed significantly, including the, I'll say Homeland Security, our security team, as well as the other staff that did the maintenance, et cetera. You know who you are, and I just want to say thank you. It's a team effort that made this happen. Along the same line, I too was taken back and impressed with the state of the city. Where do you find the owners of the NBA Clippers, the top officials of the NFL Rams, the Chargers, and the Philharmonic Youth Orchestra in attendance in one setting, all because of Inglewood to say is that their home? A big difference. Also, I do want to bring up the fact that we're still working on Operation Clean Sweep. So if you have not put out your items that have been stored, accumulated in the garage and in your closets, and it's your time of the week, because we send out the forms when it's available, please take advantage of that. And then finally, I would be remiss if I didn't say happy belated Resurrection Day. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Councilman Morales, District
Thank
3.
you. First, I'd like to say that to continue to thank folks that come out and talk about their rent control issues here. It's appropriate and it's great information for us. The gentleman that was a 10-year resident, we understand what's going on. And actually, when the mayor introduced the ordinance, there was a mechanism in there to continue to protect against the excess increase on an annual basis. You can still see the increases, but because of that, there will be a limit to it. Otherwise, you'll continue to see it. So it's not a perfect solution, but it was immediate and it was effective. So just to let you know that. Earth Day, Angela, Joy, you have to figure out how to get more people to show up. And no, awesome. Just a great event. It gets better and better. I'm amazed, that we've become this destination. It doesn't matter really where you're coming from. It's a great place to be, and it's the place to be. That's awesome. The state of the city. I remember when we used to do it at the Proud Bird, and we couldn't fill the seats. We couldn't fill them. I mean, there was, if you just had to show up and you could get a free meal. I mean, anybody, and we still couldn't do it. And now, we literally have to turn people down. I mean, I'm talking, I know we all get phone calls saying they want to be there, and we all have to say we don't have any available seats, which is an amazing place to be. And we have key officials from around the region that want to be there. We all get invited to tremendous amount of number of state of the cities from surrounding cities, and I'm pretty sure, we'll go to very few. And it's nice to see that everybody wants to be at ours. Credit to the mayor and his team to put together just a great day. The Chamber of Commerce, Eric Hawley, it was awesome. It was awesome. Hudnall Elementary, thank you to Dr. Goldsby. They continue. Our elementary schools continue to show successes. They continue to show successes, and their image does not move up. They continue to get beat up, but they continue to show successes. So kind of feels like that up here, Mayor. But regardless, I'll tell you, Dr. Goldsby has taken that reign and created that science fair and has invited all of these students, and she raises the money there at school with the PTA. Should be commended. It's amazing. Our home buyers program. If other cities did what we did, you'd see an impact. The problem is they're not going to do it. We've chosen kind of the hard way, but we've chosen to seclude a certain amount of money to change a few families' lives. We could trickle it out like a lot of cities, and you wouldn't make the same impact. So as difficult as it's going to be to see a lot of families not be the chosen ones, I'll tell you that the ones that do get chosen, their lives will change. So I'm proud of that program. And then that's it. Thank you very much for coming out.
I want to say really a big thanks to Dr. Goldsby from Hudnall for bringing the children, because that, in reality, that's what we're doing all this for. That's what we're setting the predicate for. A large part of the development that occurs here funnels back dollars into the city where the city has had to put up no matching funds. All these projects are private investment. But every day at the stadium site, 3,000 people go to work. We have 35% local hire goal. We don't always make that every month, but that's our goal. We have participants from Second Call, people that have offended, former gang members. We have about 100 ex-felons that are making between $60 and $90 an hour over at that site. I wish that Thomas had queued up the video once again of their testimony to how this has changed their lives. The unemployment rate in the city has dropped from 17.5% to as low as 4.8%. This month it's probably 5.4%. The lowest it's been in 30 or 40 years. More people working in Inglewood now that want to work in the last 40 years. The revenues that these projects have brought in, and we haven't sold one single football game ticket, one basketball ticket, has changed the total trajectory of our budget. We went from our last $11 million to upwards of $60 million in the bank right now. We've had now 6 bond rating increases in the last 5 years. We've gone from triple B, which is just one step above junk bonds, to A+ on some issues and AA on the others. The highest you can go is AAA. The state of the city, Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, Kevin Demoff, the chief operating officer of the Rams, A.G. Spanos, president of the Chargers, Chad Smith, the CEO of the LA Philharmonic, and Fred Rogan, who was the MC, were there in a room with 700 people. To give you an idea how outrageous that is, when I retired in Santa Monica, we sold out the Fairmont Miramar Ballroom, and the limit was 400 people. And we had 700 in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, and nobody left. And you probably missed it in the LA Times because, oh, they didn't cover it. Isn't that interesting? But anyway, we've changed lives here, and we're working on stabilizing, our rental situation. And Thomas, if you have that clip ready to go. So just a little testimony of the workers, yes. She doesn't talk much, but she works hard. I know. Hold on one second. Yeah, it is. We make him work by himself, too. Well, I'll tell you what. Come back next week, and we'll be sure to show it to you. But anyway, with that, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.